Hey guys, this is Mark, and this is the news for June 12th. Today I picked up the New York Times to see a different perspective. So I want to go over the front page with you and go over the news that I see here. Uh, I'm going to turn this camera a little bit because it seems like the sun is kind of in the way. Yeah, now you can see me. I know you love seeing me anyway. But reading the New York Times, you can see the direction of the New York Times. Let me just go down to the bottom where they have a news summary. Sunday styles. Gay days are here again. A political dispute over classroom instruction didn't dampen a pride celebration at Walt Disney World. Uh, Commentary. I think it's more about what parents want you to tell the kids or don't want you to tell the kids. It's got nothing to do with the pride community because it's just about parents taking charge of what's told their kids. A look for films and for her. The costume designer Shuri Carrada's work is now in demand. Playing farmer minus manure. Affluent urbanites are making it tough for those raising livestock and working land in Hudson Valley. A seaweed farmer has a vision that shallow waters of Long Island will turn sugar kelp into new kale. Do you see the tone here? I mean, we're talking about kale. We're talking about gay pride, which is good. We're talking about people that don't want manure. Uh, let's see. Great men, not really. Cutting loose of sacred monsters who helped shape the American theater. Let's go after all those great movies we loved. Average gas price hits $5. Though a gallon costs much more in some parts of the country, the national average reached a new high. That's it. That's all you have to say, New York Times. Drummer in the dugout. Charlie Montoyo's day job, managing the Blue Jays. His passion, playing percussion at salsa clubs. Okay. Left unites in France. Hoping to revive their political fortunes, fractious parties have formed a coalition to thwart the agenda of President Emmanuel Macron. Hunger toil in Somalia. The worst drought in 4 decades and a spike in food prices have caused hundreds of children to die of malnutrition this year. A link in the Middle East. The antique Hejaz Hot Railway, which was built by the Ottomans and still crosses Jordan, is a relic of a bygone dream to unite the region. Next stop, nostalgia. Stuckey's plans to build the brand on pecan log rolls, Canty Kish, and the Great American Road Trip. Oh, Stuckey's. I remember Stuckey's. Never stopped there. Father refused. Probably better off. Priceless memories at least. When the open road beckons at a time of peak inflation, bring flexibility, a love of back roads, and extra money. Now the main stories. I mean, the New York Times is like pointing in one direction. Notice my left hand. Vegan leather, how big brands got into plastic. Turning down lives to find family at HBCUs. Not a big story. This is the one that pisses me off the most. The secret Pentagon photos of Guantanamo Bay prisoners. Listen, justice or injustice, that's what's important. Once they're in the prison, it's a terrible thing how they might be treated, but the fact of the matter is it was an overreaction regarding the falling of the Twin Towers. It was terrible. But the New York Times, with the economy crashing, might want to point out something that's really important. We've got a war between Russia and Ukraine, which Biden is sitting watching, and he just wants Ukraine to lose and get it over with so we can get the gas prices back down so he can win, or the Democrats can win. Russia adapts to an economy that's cut off. Unexpected resilience even in fast food. New York Times talking positively about the Russians. It's going back to work on Sunday to prepare. He built the familiar M off what has been called McDonald's and covered the M on his McDonald's jacket with a Russian flag patch. It will be the same buns, promised Shmolikin, who maintains the equipment at the restaurant in Moscow. So, no more McDonald's. They've taken over. They are now making their own burgers. Good. You can die like the rest of America from that food. After hearings, a tenuous path to indict Trump. In other words, their big trial on television did not work. Nobody gives a crap. Representative Lee Cheney, the committee's vice chairwoman. You don't have much of a future, Cheney. Let's see what else is going on here. The conversation, the cancer trial's unexpected result, remission in every patient. That's good. It was a small trial, just 18 rectal cancer patients, but a complete remission in every patient is unheard of, say some medical experts. This was the week most read article. Well, let me tell you something. I think that this is the year of the cure if we can get our heads out of our butts. No pun intended there with the rectal cancer. There's a new Gerber baby, and some parents are mad. All right, my girlfriend pointed this story out. Yes, how I have a girlfriend, it's amazing to me, but I do have one. I'm not going to mention her name because she'll be embarrassed that anybody knows. With the climate change marching relentlessly forward, the Great Salt Lake rises, the same fate of California's Owens Lake, which went dry decades ago, producing the worst levels of dust pollution in the United States. I believe she pointed out to me yesterday that they found antimony, which is a carcinogen, but used for insulating as well as can be used for batteries in some of the lakes in Utah. What else? Oh, this should be a good one. Jared Kushner. How Jared Kushner washed his hands of Donald Trump before January 6th. The role of former president's son-in-law in the final months of Trump White House is a focus of congressional committee investigating the attack on the Capitol. It's been 50 years. I'm not napalm girl anymore. You've previously seen a photograph of me taken that day running away from the explosions with others. A naked child with outstretched arms, screaming in pain. Kim Phuc Van Thai writes about how searing photo that became an emblem of the Vietnam War changed her life. Yeah, I remember that photo. The kid was skinny. Let's move on. See if there's anything of value. We've got a lot of expensive things being advertised because mostly rich people that have never worked on a roof or really did hard work read the New York Times. I know a lot of attorneys that actually have read in bed, let's say, the morning after I got to know them, would read the New York Times. Let's see. Left-wing parties in France, that's kind of like the summary we saw. Let's see what else we got here. There's the vegan leather. This is my favorite. Right here. Can't we just be happy and have beautiful women in the paper? Please. Wow, this is just like longer stories at the front page. There's the M coming down for McDonald's. The Kavli Prize in Astrophysics. Nanoscience. I'd like the nanoscience to do something for us for once, please. I've invested enough money with them. Something about Sicily, fighting Sicily's charm on a slow train trip. Let's just hope you don't get popped in the back of the head when you're in Sicily. I'm just referencing The Sopranos. Oh, this is a good story. Should Biden seek re-election in 2024? Many in his party are whispering no. I could have swore I heard some Democrats screaming, no way. But the fact of the matter is, they put Joe Biden in and they wanted to run the country behind him. I don't think we're going to see another Democrat in office, at least the presidential office, in probably 16 years. And that could be dangerous for us too, because certainly, we saw the Republicans bring us to weapons of mass destruction, which really did not help the world. So to nearly all the Democrats interviewed, the president's age, 79, now 82 by the time of the winner of the 2024 election is inaugurated, is a deep concern about his political viability. Come on, man. The guy can't even read off the teleprompter. He's as bad as me. Let's just move this camera a little bit so we can get some real news. I wanted to point out that they think in Brazil, there was a Brazilian guy who was an indigenous expert and a British journalist. They think that both of them have been killed by the fish mafia. Yes, there is a fish mafia. Supposedly, you go out for this fish, and in a day, you can make $3,000. That fish then is exported to Colombia, which you make more money off of, and it's a delicacy. Well, apparently, this indigenous guy and the journalist were bumped off because they were saying something about the fishing. Very interesting story. Another interesting story I read, and we're going to end it here, except for a couple of comments about the markets. It seems as if Venezuela and Iran have made a deal, a 20-year deal, to become very business friendly. That's very interesting because both of them are wealthy countries. President Biden wanted to get some oil from Iran and from Venezuela, and that didn't work out. But it seems like when we see people that we're supposed to be helping come together, I think we're in a dangerous situation. Earlier today, I had a conversation with a person, and he was saying, let France and Germany really take care of the problem with Ukraine. I say, man, it looks like Biden is just watching Ukraine go down. He's just waiting for the end of it so that the economy can go back up. My personal opinion is we better get on the stick and start fighting communism, because as I pointed out yesterday, it certainly does look like communism is spreading through Latin America. Matter of fact, Iran and Venezuela signing this 20-year cooperation plan during Maduro's visit is not a good thing. They consider it an incredible resistance against threats and sanctions by enemies and imperialism during the Tehran talks. They're talking about the United States. Both of them, if they both had nuclear weapons, or even if they had just stronger militaries, we could have some serious problems. Now let's talk about the markets tomorrow, which is my passion. Number one, I'm flying to Dublin tomorrow, but I'll still cover the news on my phone. I'll point something out. The Rangers lost to the Lightning, the Tampa Bay Lightning, yesterday in the hockey game, but it was destined to happen. Number one, that guy who cold-cocked the kid or the person online and knocked him flat brought bad karma to the Rangers. So I suggest that every Ranger fan find that guy and do whatever you got to do to him, because it brought really bad karma to the team, and hence Tampa Bay won. And they looked strong. They looked strong, but the Rangers looked exhausted. I don't know if they were out drinking or what, but it looked bad. So getting back to the markets, how does this all affect the markets? Well, I think that we got some real problems. If the New York Times avoided talking about the market on the front page, I would say that they know something is up. So I'm expecting a really, really bad day in the market tomorrow. You have the Fed meeting, I believe, on Wednesday, and if they suggest that they're going to do 75 points or 100 points, interest rate rise, it's going to kill the market. If they lay back and say they're doing 50 points, it's going to kill the market. So things are not looking real good for the markets. Uh, it looks like the volatility is going to be excessive. Uh, and it looks like, there might be some movements towards crypto or other assets out of the stock market for now, because the leadership in this country is just so poor. I don't think the Fed can recover, actually, because they politicized it, climate change and social justice. They started bringing those into the discussions of the Fed, and they lost all credibility. So it's looking pretty bad. Uh, Even expensive stocks are at risk because the market is full of people that are shorting, meaning they're saying that the price is going to go down, so they buy it expecting it to go down and they make money. So you're going to have a tremendous amount of forces shorting the market, uh, and you're going to also have the volatility is going to really destroy some people's lives. Uh, we'll see what happens tomorrow. I expect oil prices to rise this week, although some of the prices on Friday look like some demand destruction was coming in to the market. I know that Kathy Wood is still saying that inventories being so high means that we're going to have deflation. And she did actually point out it would be deflation of hard goods. But that deflation may not be enough to combat inflation, and we might have to just expect the stagflation to happen. Uh, the biggest thing and most important thing is November. We have to show that we have great leaders that are willing to step up and take care of us as a country, economically, militarily, uh, kind of rebuild ourselves geopolitically. Uh, but as far as tomorrow, the markets go, it's not looking good. So thanks, Mark Nedjma here. I'm heading to Ireland, but I'll give you the news tomorrow and while I'm in Ireland. Thanks so much and have a great day.